Okay, we're last cast where we had the
Yay! Yay! Big Hood in the building. What up? How about the boys? The Dallas Cowboys, that is. What up? What up? What up? How about the boys?
Are we going?
What up?
I thought you were just doing a fucking. I thought that was just a practice of the Dallas Cowboys. So I didn't have any type of head movement. I thought you were doing an audio check or something.
No,
You didn't give me a 5-4-3. You just went for it.
yeah, you just you kind of look like a bit of an idiot when you're sitting there and you're
Well,
just kinda
I
whatever.
honestly I thought you were doing a sound test. You're like, don't say anything. I thought you were saying don't say anything because I'm checking the sound, not don't say anything because we're starting.
No.
Anyways, we back.
back.
What up? What is going on, man? Before we shout out our socials, I just need to say, yeah, it sucked without the Cowboys being in playoffs, but holy fuck, if you could have picked 4 games to watch on playoff weekend without the Cowboys playing,
Oh, probably one of the best weekends of football.
that Bills before, like, I'll just quickly say because we'll touch on it a little bit, but that Bills Chiefs game was probably one of the best football games I've ever seen.
Yep.
And I just like it sucked the way we went out, but imagine being Bills fans. Like I feel pretty shitty for Bills fans and like Josh Allen. Like they literally did everything they could have, except that one meme. Well, he could have called heads.
Well,
But-
yeah, that's exactly
hilarious.
Exactly.
It was that was the game that which we could touch on today about the overtime rules. But that game is basically whoever was winning that coin toss was winning the game.
Hey, before you finish that before you finish that thought,
Shot thought. Yeah, get it. Crack 'em if you got 'em, son.
and you know what? We got a lot of questions already kind of peppering the chat. So let's hit these social channels and let's get going.
Are you reading them out or am I?
You read them out.
Okay, so if you're looking for anything Cowboys Fan podcast, we have a website, which is haven't liked or subscribed to any of those, what is going on?
I got
got a little glitch
I got
here.
screwed on.
We got are we still rolling?
Yeah.
You can keep talking.
But is oh my God.
Just finish the plug and we'll see. We might have to do a restart.
Oh my goodness. I do not know what happened.
Camera, y'all, stream just messed up. So they can hear us.
Yeah.
So it might be a plug-in or something. So I'm just going to keep talking. I might serenade everybody right now. Bandwagon Boy 1 is on it. He will figure this out. If anyone wants to ask some questions while we're waiting to get some live footage of us. I mean, you don't really need to see us. We're probably the worst part of the whole thing. What do you guys think?
It is true, but then what's the point of it?
Yeah, just streaming our voices.
Yeah,
just my big fat gut. People want to see my big fat gut.
This is ASMR.
Hey, good
You're-
job.
you're
Good job
back.
over there, Ad.
Yeah.
Way to
We're
fucking way to get damage control and stay calm. And you looked good over there. I was doing my best to talk, but I kind of get in watching view. But what's chat? You said Chad had some questions right off the hop, Ad?
Well, you were going to get well, the funny thing is as we were setting everything up, I didn't set some of our things up. So then when I went to go, anyways, doesn't matter.
So do you need to?
Doesn't
do you
matter.
need a couple minutes to set up so we can see what's on the lappy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
So
is
you guys
fine.
just chat. You guys
Yeah,
just
we'll
bullshit.
chat. So
Actually, you know what? Here, answer some chat questions right now.
well,
We'll hit some chat
What-
questions real quick, and then we'll
okay,
dive
sure.
into some stuff.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so JJ the Mime's already saying, "What's y'all thought
Yeah.
on Sean
Perfect
Payton?"
start. Perfect. Start.
Yeah, we were. That's probably I think was the first thing we were going to talk about.
Yep.
So I obviously Sean Payton has a history with the Cowboys and everyone knows Sean Payton's a great offensive minded coach. He's won with players obviously at Drew Brees for the longest time, but he's also won with Teddy Bridgewaters and Taysom Hills. So obviously he brings a pedigree that he would only help a Dak Prescott, right? So I'm pretty much I would be open to bringing in Sean Payton because I think he's only going to make our offense better. But I did see a statistic of Sean Payton stats versus Mike McCarthy stats, and they almost are identical.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like he's a big name. He has won a Super Bowl. He's had a great team, and he's done well with the weapons that he has. So all these things are good, but I don't know if it's just the coaches are not in these situations are just copy paste, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's what you were suggesting, but that's a good point. If McCarthy and Sean Payton stats are similar, like I'm trying to think ahead now in a chess match. Well, what would you call out about Sean Payton? Let's say he coaches the Cowboys and ends up losing in the first round. Well, what are people
Something.
going to say
Something.
about Sean Payton?
It'll be the same thing. He only won one Super Bowl. Okay, so let's say
Yeah,
Sean
yeah.
Payton versus Mike McCarthy. Only won one Super Bowl with Drew Brees, who's arguably a first ballot. Well, he is a first ballot Hall of
Absolutely,
Famer.
yeah.
So one playoff win with Drew Brees, or one Super Bowl win with Drew Brees. His playoff wins versus losses against Mike McCarthy are almost identical. His season. The only thing I'd say with Sean Payton is he has won with quarterbacks that aren't Hall of Famers. Whereas Mike McCarthy, his 1 year with the backups when Dak went down, what did we finish? 6-10. Where Mike McCarthy with Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill, like the Saints won 9 games this year with not a very good team. You know what I mean? So maybe his scheming is good, but there's, like you said, there's
Sure,
always
yep.
there's always that thing when he does come in and loses, or if he doesn't win, what would people say?
Yeah, and there would be something, and
There always is.
Yeah,
No one's ever happy.
I mean, I don't even know. I'm so wishy-washy on the whole thing because I hear people's arguments and they all make sense, and I don't know enough about. I do lean more towards being like, if Mike McCarthy were to be replaced, I think it wouldn't be a negative thing.
No,
for the team,
for-
depending on the.
For me, the only person, like, I honestly think we give Mike McCarthy one more year. I do. But the only way I would want to replace him right now is if it was like, we can only keep Dan Quinn. If Dan Quinn,
sorry.
Dan Quinn would only stick around if he gets the head coaching position,
That's what I think we're gonna be up against right now.
which I would be okay with because if we don't do something like that, I don't know the relationship between Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn, but I imagine like that would be hard to do if you were friends. You know what I mean? It'd be hard to be like, yeah, you'd probably almost rather go
elsewhere.
to
Yeah.
Denver or Minnesota, somewhere like that, instead of kicking out possibly. I mean, they're probably friends,
Yeah.
right?
Well, if he did stay, excuse me, if he did stay and became the head coach, Quinn, we would need a obviously someone to come in and fill the role of defensive coordinator or assist. Like if
Yep.
Dan Quinn would still run it, but he'd have someone to because he's got to do some head
Which
coaching.
they're-
duty.
which
But sorry, then you need that OC
yeah.
who's going to be able to take up the half.
But you don't know. I mean, Kellen Moore might still be our OC next year.
Well, and can he do that? Does he fill that role? I don't know. You never know what the scenario is like, especially with Jerry Jones. He likes
Hovering.
yeah. So like, does Kellen Moore have a killer spell book? Does the Dungeon Master have a killer spell book? But he was a little bit hogtied, a little perhaps.
Well, did you
I
hear
don't know
that?
what
Did you
I don't
hear
know
that,
what
though?
Jerry would say.
Did you hear that though? Because there was a rumor.
No.
So there was.
I know that's been in the past.
Well, there
right?
was a. Well, yeah. So the reason they said Jerry Jones like having Jason Garrett for the longest time
Yeah.
was basically because Jason Garrett wouldn't stick up to Jerry Jones and be like, want to do something. Jerry'd be like, no, listen here, boy. Jason would just kind of fall down on his knees but
yeah.
as with what they were saying with Kellen Moore was they were saying with Kellen Moore, they got the Joneses, Steven and Jerry were getting mad that he was showing too much of his playbook too early in the season.
Yeah, he's exposing himself.
So I think in that situation, if you get a guy, if you get a guy to run your offense, you let him, because then once you start saying that, well, maybe that's why he went so vanilla after, right?
have you seen the OC for?
Oh yeah, Orange County.
Yeah, great
Season one, awesome.
Love it.
Okay, a bit of a pivot. Have you seen the OC? No. Have you seen the OC for 49ers?
Yep.
What a fucking I have maybe there's 32 dudes like him or 31 because I know Kellen Moore's not like that, but I mean that dude fires me up.
Yeah.
And he just seems so fucking smart about what he's trying to get people to accomplish.
Yep.
On
Who are we talking about?
forget the guy's name, I'll pull it up.
The
But
49ers OC.
he's got a few videos online now, and that's kind of what piqued my interest. What the fuck am I doing here?
So
But-
as Alex was looking for that, we got our boy All Even podcast with Barry Grant Jr.
What up?
saying
What up?
they are night and day different, and I don't know who he's referring to when he says that. It's probably during one of the conversations.
It was either Sean Payton and Mike McCarthy, because we were kind of saying their
stats are the same.
Their stats are the
Right,
same, or
yeah.
he was talking Mike,
Okay.
the Dungeon Master and the OC. Come on, Barry, you
Yeah,
know
no.
you got to add some names.
No,
in
no,
there.
no. He did next. One guy's
Oh.
a great in-game manager. Mike McCarthy is a bad motivator, which is a big no-no.
And
So
Mike
that's-
McCarthy, listening to his pump up speeches, he does got that voice that it would be really hard to get pumped up to right? Like, we're gonna go out there, gentlemen, and we're gonna. Well, the biggest thing with Mike McCarthy is him telling people that he thought his players were nervous before the fucking playoff game. That just fucking chaps my ass. If you could sense that, your whole fucking point as a head coach, and that does fire me up. But I still think you give him one more year. I mean, if you could get, I don't know, if you get Sean Payton, he'd be hard to say no to.
You know what?
Well, and that's what Barry's saying too. If we get Sean Payne, everyone else can walk.
I don't think this is the thing. I don't even think you're able to get Sean Payton. He was under contract with the Saints and walked away because of what?
Sorry, what's that? Before you say that, here's what's the most likely scenario: keep Mike McCarthy for one more year and hopefully pay Dan Quinn a shit ton of money and say, look, stick around for 1 year. Here's $20 million. And then in 1 year's time, Payton comes back. Sean Payton comes back.
I don't know if he
and
can.
gets-
I don't know
yeah.
if he can even coach for us because he left a contract. Right? You can leave a contract if you're leaving because you're not coaching.
It says he can't. I just read an article, and of course, we're not going to deep dive in. I'm not even going to read this shit. I just
No,
read the
fuck no.
headline, but it said he wouldn't return this.
Okay,
this
he wants
upcoming year.
he wants a year off.
Yeah.
It's funny because the thing I laughed about,
Yeah, sorry.
Kellen is no longer the Dungeon Master. He's Gilbert Grape.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, he
Barry,
is.
Barry was. We were chatting on Instagram, and Barry called him fucking Gilbert Grape, and I almost shit my pants
Are
laughing.
you-
Oh, so
fucking
JJ's saying,
kidding
I'm
me.
telling you all the reason. Look up what I said in the chat. He goes, I know the stats are similar, but it's really how he would put Dak to the next level, which would put the Cowboys to the next level. That is what it's all about, boys. Or he
Oh, I
says,
agree.
guys.
I agree that Sean Payton's probably superior game manager and offensive play calling guru to Mike McCarthy. But we do know as Cowboys fans, as soon as something hits the fan, we're going to fucking cry and find something wrong.
Right.
That's just how it always is. No one's ever happy with our coaching. Since I've been a fan, no one's ever been happy with who we have as coaches. And I mean, I still think I'm a 3-year guy. Give a guy 3 years. He went 6-10, 12-5. If he regresses from 12-5, which I mean, it's more than likely it's tough to go back-to-back seasons like that.
Yep.
But if he doesn't make playoffs, he's gone 100%. Playoffs. And if he makes playoffs and doesn't go past the first round again, gone. But there was substantial improvement from year 1 to 2. But Jerry Jones wasn't happy with a bunch of stuff. So we're going to see. I mean, it's going to happen. Some people think around Super Bowl, there might be an announcement. I'm sure Jerry might be weighing his options. He hasn't endorsed McCarthy as his coach yet. So who knows? The bigger thing that scares me right now is Dan Quinn leaving.
Right.
Absolutely. I feel like that's pretty much a 75% chance that it's going to happen. I can't, unless Dan Quinn, the only thing I can hope is that he's just doing this to get as much money as he can, and Jerry will be willing to pay it, and he's already said that.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty like
Smart move.
and it's a big jump from going from OC or DC to coach with the responsibility and I know he's done it before, so maybe he's more prepared this time, and so be it. But it is a big thing to take on for a coach. So I'm saying if you gave me the option of, hey, Alex, don't go be a manager for another company. Who the fuck would hire me as a manager anyways?
I would.
Stay here and we'll pay you twice as much.
Yeah. And you
For a year.
if shit hits the fan, ultimately it's not your
not
fault.
Yeah.
you know?
I would 100% stay, take the money, and then take off.
I would
next
say
year.
hold that thought. Crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got
You
him.
guys,
Crack
hey,
him if you
are
got
you
him.
guys a little gun shy today or what?
I'm not.
Well, where the fuck? I haven't heard a single.
I cracked mine
what?
before.
No. I don't mean the crackums. I mean the sound bites.
Because a lion couldn't pick up a backside bandit.
I was just waiting.
Protection.
I haven't heard it. Was that the first sound bite? How many minutes in are we?
We are.
It must be because you guys are dead sober. It's like as you
17,
guys get,
We're 17 minutes in.
and that's the first sound bite.
That's the
Oh,
first
I
sound bite.
gotta get lit.
Goodness.
Because Adam doesn't have mine on.
Oh, he sabotaged you.
Oh, you have it right here.
Fucking sabotaged. Sabotaged.
Listen, I have a lot of stuff on my mind when I'm trying to set stuff up.
Can I get a soundboard?
Yeah, you could.
I could sit here and fucking soundboard all day.
Yep. Hey, guess what?
Battling soundboards, baby.
Guess what?
I mean, we have a mess right now with the,
Fuck you.
with the Zoom. I gotta get
We're-
this Zoom.
yeah,
Oh,
so
you're going Zoom?
Yeah,
Okay, let's try to get
we
some
want to take some
call-ins.
calls. So just say, we got Alex Brow saying, hey boys, how's it going? Jake Rodriguez says DC4L, which is Dallas Cowboys for life.
Hell yeah.
JJ's coming back. He's clapping back saying, if he went 9-8 with a running back at QB, he can do it with Dak. Plus, if you can get him now, why waste a whole year? Anything could happen. It would take compensation, though.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even. Yeah, they would have to trade for him probably. They'd have to trade for his right. They'd have to trade for his rights. That's the only way I think they could do it.
Right.
So, if you can, if it's a sure thing and you think it's going to make the team better and make us win, well, yeah, fucking go for it. I don't think we give up any picks for him.
I agree.
So I don't know what you would have to do to get him out of his contract. I'm not too versed in that. If anyone knows in chat what we would have to do to be able to get Sean Payton, I'm all open to Sean Payton. I am. I'm not trying to say I think Mike McCarthy's a better coach. I don't. I just believe in the 3-year rule.
Right.
But I mean, right now it's hard to agree with that rule because we did go out really shitty, and a lot of stuff came out after the last game that did make you question his leadership and his coaching decisions. Like Mike McCarthy's main thing was to make certain decisions, and a lot of those decisions were kind of
Well, the whole Zeke thing is pretty shitty. His time management's been piss poor, and
always, yeah.
the fact of the motivating factor. I mean,
Yep.
Regardless if he says I've won playoff games, I know how to win, and he's won Super Bowl. It just makes you question.
Well, and the penalties.
And the penalties.
Most penalized team, we obviously didn't nip that in the ass, which
exactly, and that comes. Get a little bit of that Jimmy Johnson lead with fear mentality up there. Like there's a balance.
Hire a player going on his way out, get him to come into the preseason and get like a couple penalties, and then fire him in front of everybody.
Yeah,
cut
his ass.
Cut his ass in front of bring down the hellfire on this one guy, because I mean, obviously, all right. He's back. He back. Because obviously one of the main reasons players were still committing penalties is they didn't think that their position was in jeopardy, right?
AJ wants to shotgun for everybody on there.
Okay, get a shotgun in. Did you open it?
And JJ the Mime says you're right. I agree.
Yeah, what's chat saying? Well, AJ stabs himself in the hand. Who's going to be first to stab themselves in the hand?
The last coach to get traded was Gruden in 2002. DEW. Oh, do it. DEW. DEW.
So what? This is the thing. What did they trade? Like
2 seconds plus giving Dale Benson $30 million.
Not a fucking chance.
That's what they're saying.
Don't give a single draft pick for fucking Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Wait one more year. Like you don't. I don't think.
Okay, here we go.
I don't think there's anything. Yeah, get it
Crack
in.
him
Yeah,
up, 8.
you're about to shotgun sitting down.
Get it in you. Yeah, what are you doing? You can go over there if you want.
Yeah, come over here. Okay, can you? Don't spill on me though. This is what we do on Wednesday nights. It's an excuse to shotgun. What's on your back? So, I think one of the kids put something on your back.
Yeah, Riker did.
What's it say?
He came down and he told me.
Hello. Yeah, it says, hello, my name is Bob.
He was going around saying Penis Parker for a bit. I thought that's what it'd be.
What a little jerk. He's off my Christmas list.
Okay, go for it, AJ.
This goes out to all the gals and
yeah, all the gals watching.
all the gals and guys.
All the gals watching. minus 6. There's -6 chicks watching.
Woo!
You were ad. Crack him if you got him, son. Got him. What's chat saying? They said AJ did it like a champ.
These nuts. Got him.
I don't think we give any draft picks for Sean Payton. I think you wait it out and sign him. That it's actually perfect. You give McCarthy another year, and then if he completely fucks it up, now we get Sean Payton. You know.
The thing is, in that we're gonna lose Dan Quinn.
Okay, well, what, JJ saying
then Peyton's gonna come in. Peyton will come in with his own crew.
Yeah.
Okay, what about 2023 first and third and 2024 second and third
For what?
picks for Peyton?
No. Not a fucking sorry, not a chance. I'm not giving up a first round for a coach.
I do
ever.
love how we're talking like it's happening next year.
Right?
I know.
Hey, we do have a Alex calling here. Should we
take
admit,
it.
see how
Alex
this goes?
Morales.
Let's get it.
Go for it.
Yo, Alex, what's shaking, buddy?
Hey, what's going on again, broski? Good to be back on the show.
Yo,
What's up?
Yeah, it's a returning caller.
Yeah.
Is what we're gonna say.
Oh yeah, yes sir.
How you doing, man?
Doing okay. Looking at the cap space, 16 million over. I'm okay. Not freaking out at all.
Right.
Totally okay.
So what do you
Yeah.
with looking at that? What do you think we got to do to get under or even have some money to spend?
Well, first you restructure Amari Cooper.
Got to.
Maybe you should have paid Ezekiel Elliott such big money because he clearly, in these 2 years of his new contract, he does not deserve that money.
Nope.
We could try. I mean, you can't trade him because his cap hit's going to be way too high. So, I mean, you got to choose who to keep and stuff. So, I mean,
Hey, Alex, do you know how the because I only know how salaries work from Madden, and it does it all automatically for you. So I just go in and out of a trade until it works.
Till it accepts it.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
My question is,
Yeah.
there's dead money. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
restructure a contract, does that change too, or is that dead money like no?
It just pushes it.
Oh, it just pushes. Okay,
Like when you restructure, you're not getting. All you're doing is it's freeing up money that year.
but okay,
Right,
so,
yeah.
So dead money is not like this is money.
That's if you cut him. Like if you cut a guy, you're paying that no matter what. You're on the hook for that.
Yes.
That's why.
Yes, that's what makes the money dead.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's like you were saying, we're not trading Zeke. Nobody's going to pay for Zeke. Like no one's taking Zeke at the contract he has. So if we traded him, sure we'd get rid of him, but we're basically still paying him. So you're better off to just keep him on the roster, restructure his contract so that maybe it frees up some money for some other guys. But he's still like you said, the reason when the amount we paid him, it fucks us basically. Like it fucks us for I think we looked at it last week. I think that our top 6 players equated to like what was it, 30 or 40% of our salary, something crazy like that.
I do have I do have that up now, and we can look something. So why I was wondering, because you look at DeMarcus Lawrence, he's got 27 million is his cap hit.
Yeah, a big cap hit if you cut him or trade him.
Huge.
And 19 million in dead money, but then you look at Cooper with 22 million cap hit, but he's got 6 million dead money. So you can do a lot more, I guess, with a Cooper contract than a DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah. So Alex, I was talking to one of the guys that I chat with on IG, and he kind of said with Amari Cooper, like maybe he's one of the guys you cut because you're only losing 6 mil.
Sure.
Opposed to some of the guys with a bigger dead money cap hit.
I can't lose Cooper.
No, you can't. You've already paid him.
It's a huge amount to pay him, but
you restructure him. The best you can do is restructure his contract,
which I doubt. Which I doubt he'll do.
Oh yeah,
he won't.
Yeah,
do that.
He might restructure because he's still going to get paid, right? He's still going to get the money.
Right. You're. That's when we talk about he'll take it later on.
He takes it later on, right? So he'll restructure. I agree with you. We can't. The reason I don't think we cut Amari Cooper. Well, we got Cedric Wilson, Michael Gallup, all in. They're some of these guys are leaving. Burner the Turner. These guys are free agents. So the last thing we want to do is cut someone that's under contract. You know.
Yeah, but if I could choose 4 of my top free agents to pick, you keep Dalton Schultz.
Yep.
You keep who else do you keep? You would keep Randy Gregory. You keep him. You would keep Jerron Kearse. I was so impressed to see Jerron Kearse play in a free agency year. He was on Detroit, didn't get enough playing time, and then he comes to Dallas and he's an absolute gem the Chiefs.
Best player on our defense. Best free agent pickup on our defense.
Oh yeah, it's a big one, and then he's probably won his money. So I would pick Jerron Kearse, Randy Gregory, Dalton Schultz, and I would probably pick. Well, I'm not going to pick penalty boy Connor Williams. Yep, he was so many penalties. Oh my gosh, so many holding calls
every time.
But that O line, I mean, we have got to do something about the O line. Oh my god!
Yeah, I think we'll adjust it in the draft. You didn't give us your 4th guy though. We need one more. We need
4th guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not keeping Michael Gallup. I mean, I think he's probably long gone.
Yeah,
way too much.
I would probably keep
Cedric
maybe
Wilson?
maybe Luke Guilford. He was a pretty good down the stretch. He is a solid linebacker whenever he gets playing time. I'm looking here, and he only got 2.8% of the snaps.
Yep.
He's 27, so I mean, I would keep Luke Guilford though. He's a good backup for a linebacker. And we are kind of pretty thin at linebacker. So
we are. Yep. And with that Luke Gifford, that's a good choice because he's probably going to be cheap. He's probably not going to garner that much interest. But, hey, man, we loved having the call-in. And next time we have call-ins.
Sunday.
Sunday we're going to be live streaming the NFC Championship game. We'd love for you to call back, buddy.
Oh, my gosh. If only we was there.
We feel the same way, buddy. Talk to you later, man.
Hey, at least – okay, see you later, bro.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
This one goes for Kilo C.
It's like Dallas is going for it.
Hey,
that was a good call-in. We love the call-ins.
We love the call-ins. It worked out.
And Alex, I mean, you could always call back later on too. I think we just wanted to try to keep it moving.
The only thing
options.
that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rush anything.
I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't. This Alex.
right. I know.
This Alex was pushing that other caller, Alex.
I should know you. You never refer to me as my first name.
No, you're fuckboy.
Yeah,
AJ, fuckboy. BWP2,
piece of shit,
Vape 10, hot stuff.
Smoke weed every day.
The
only thing I was gonna say is, I would re-sign Schultz too, because he's going to go up to Mr. Jones and say, I'm going to pay you $2 million to let me play for this team, to let me wear that star on my helmet.
He's going to be hard to keep.
Yeah,
Schultz?
I think if anything we could keep. If
we don't know what we got.
Well, look at this.
Those other two guys.
Jarwin's good.
Yeah, but look at who Dak had the most chemistry with this last season. He had lots of chemistry with Schultz, and he had chemistry with Cedric Wilson. So out of all those people that
sexual chemistry with Zeke when they kissed.
Lots of sexual chemistry with Zeke. But if you're going to have Cooper, he's not throwing to CeeDee Lamb as much as he should be.
Which CD's still going to be there.
Which CeeDee will be there. But I'm saying if you want that offense to fire on the cylinders it was at the start of the season, hopefully we get Zeke full health, not Zeke injured with
PCL, PCL or whatever.
So that's just selfishly about the offense. I mean, obviously our O-line we gotta do something about anyways too. But I think in terms of trying to keep Schultz and Cedric Wilson.
Well, the O-line, I think that's as far as where we need to spend some money. I think that's somewhere we need to spend money to get a guard that's a free agent that we know is good. It's tough. It's hard to find. It's hard to draft a lineman in the first or second round and have them start in the NFL. So I don't think it'd be a bad idea to draft a guard in the first or second round, but then also chase one in free agency. So you have him starting while the guy that you draft learns. Like if you could pick up a above average starter, and I think we could probably find an above average starter or even maybe just an average starter who's going to be better than Connor Williams anyways, who's going to get less holding calls anyways,
Offensively, I would like them to try to look either deep or not deep, but like say third-ish round for a running back who's got a little bit of weight to him to come in and be a little bit of a bruiser and like hope we luck out. And then for the only other thing, obviously outside of the OTs, which I hope they spend a higher pick on if that's available or trade or do something with it. Maybe we have something already in there that we rearrange for. Our wideouts. We got Cooper. We've got Lamb. Those are our AB, right? We out of the three dudes that we have with Gallup, Wilson, or Turner,
either one of those. Brown also,
and Noah Brown.
So I mean, what didn't have as much production or as flashy as Cedric or Malik Turner, but maybe he is still there.
Maybe it's just the third on the Dallas Cowboys is
going to be the guy that he's got the best matchup.
Yeah, and so I think that's covered in house. So now it's like we got to look at, I guess.
Well, let's make.
Do you go best available in draft, or do you go need?
Well, I'll make it easiest for you guys. But what was our worst position group? Do you guys think?
We got Barry Grant Jr.
Oh shit!
On the call.
Yeah, bring him in.
You want to ask this call when we bring in Barry Grant?
Yeah, I'll ask. That's the first question I'll ask him. Is he on? Do we got Barry? What up?
Oh, it's audio's connecting.
It's connecting.
We're good.
Yo.
What up, buddy?
Yo.
What's going on, yo?
Hey, I'm gonna ask you a question that I was just asking these two fucks over here. What do you what do you think our weakest position group was this year?
Weakest position group? You talking about both sides of the ball?
No, you just are worst. I know what you're gonna say for offense and defense, but I want to know what you thought for either, like, what was the number one shittiest position group on the Dallas Cowboys this year? I got you. Who did we stump you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. Cause I'm over here thinking about it. I mean, you can go offensive line.
Yeah.
And then you can also go linebacker.
Yeah,
right?
That's the two that I don't know if it's kind of like a A1, A2, or a 1A, 1B.
Because think about it, because the linebacker core, they underperformed the totality of the year, but they kind of picked it up at certain spots during the year, so you can't really completely shit on them. Because like Van Der Esch, he did play well in spots.
Don't even. When he was sitting when the offense was on the field.
Well, I mean, when you look at the totality of the year, his grade was very low. So, they definitely got to they have to improve the linebacker core. I think probably number one, and then I heard everybody talking about maybe signing back Dalton Schultz. Listen, I don't necessarily believe that we have to. I think he picked up his game the last few years, but I really believe the fact that the Cowboys can be able to draft. Will McClay is very good. They'll be able to find another good tight end for a reasonable price because that's what we do. We sign our own. We don't sign free agents, but we go really big into the draft. So, I'd rather go that way than give somebody a second contract because 9 times out of 10, if you go down the list of guys on this team, second contract guys don't really perform that well.
Great,
so,
great point.
I'd rather just focus on the draft and see what we can do there.
Well, yeah, like you said, I think Schultz is probably a guy that we don't keep because I think there's a lot of teams out there that are looking for a tight end. He's coming off a pretty big season. Like there's probably only 5 noteworthy tight ends in the NFL. Like that
right.
You actually know. I don't even know if other teams would even consider Dalton Schultz a good tight end. Right. We think that because in our system he got the ball a lot. But who's to say that Blake Jarwin
18 damn games?
Yeah, we watched. So he got the ball. He got the ball in the red zone. Dak fed him a lot, right? Yeah. So who's not to say, like you said, who's not to say that we pick a guy, an athletic tight end in the third or fourth? It doesn't even really have to be a high round. He just has to be an athletic guy. Schultz sucks at blocking. He's terrible at fucking blocking. So the main thing about a tight end is you're looking for a blocker and a pass catcher. But if you're just looking for an athletic freak, you should be able to find a guy that you can draft.
Fuck you, dickhead.
Schultz. Was that Schultz?
Schultz. Why would you say that?
But I agree with you because I don't think you sink that much money into a position that's probably not going to make us that much better or that much worse if Schultz doesn't stick around. I really liked Schultz. But I think he's going to be after his bag, right?
Well, and that's where I think when Barry was talking about, we could get by. I think with our linebacking core, I know as much as we can get by, and especially having one other year, you could maybe adjust Micah in certain positions, possibly pick somebody up that's better than Leighton Vander Esch in the 3rd or 4th round. But ultimately, it's that O-line. You do need to give Dak a little bit more time because we saw second half of the season. When he was getting under pressure, it's almost like he was a little bit clueless on where to go. And we know that Dak Prescott is Barry Grant's favorite player on the Cowboys.
Don't you mention his name while I'm here.
Hey, Barry, I got one more question before we let you go here. I want to hear what you think about the Sean Payton versus Mike McCarthy. Yeah. I know you touched on it a little bit in chat, but I want to hear the would you give up draft picks to get Sean Payton?
I would.
The
reason why is because, and hear me out.
Okay.
Just, maybe I'll make sense. Maybe you won't agree, but with
make it
football,
make sense, Barry.
Yeah, exactly. Make it make sense, right? So with football, you have a very, very small window of opportunity. We don't know if Dak is going to come back and have the productive year that he's going to have, right? We don't know what Zeke is going to look like 2 years from now. We don't know what Amari Cooper is going to look like 2 years from now. All of these things are just like, okay, we hope that it's going to happen, but if you can be able to strike and get him now, because here's the thing, Sean Payton may be burned out of coaching the Saints, and he may want to step away from coaching the Saints. That doesn't necessarily mean that he wants to step away from football per se, but money talks. Opportunity talks. If Jerry goes on the phone right now and says, listen, Sean, we had this done in 2019 and certain circumstances didn't make it happen. Let's make it happen now. And I'll make sure, I promise you'll be fine. You'll have full autonomy. You'll have full control. Because the last time Jerry gave up even a glimpse of controls when he got on Bill Parcells. He's willing to do that for Sean Payton. Because guess what? Payton came off that tree.
Yeah, exactly.
So he loves Sean Payton. So if there's anybody that he's willing to bend over backwards for and just step away, it'd be for him. So you got to strike while the iron's hot. Brady might be retiring. Rodgers may be changing conferences.
Yep.
You have to do this soon because you don't know what the landscape of the NFC is going to be next season. It may
Right.
be completely different.
So what are you giving up for him though? You're not giving up a first or second. Because if you say that, I'm calling you crazy. And and if you're giving up a first or second, I'm calling you crazy and saying what you just
All
said.
right, okay. Hear me out, right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers fired Tony Dungy. People love Tony Dungy, right? They realized that they had to make a move immediately to go get somebody noteworthy. They traded a couple of first-round picks and a couple of seconds for John Gruden. What ended up happening? They won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but come on.
So at the end of the day,
that team was decked out though, dude. Like minus quarterback.
I get
come
you,
on.
Ed. I get you. But do they win the Super Bowl without John Gruden?
Maybe not. Maybe not. But hey, Barry, we're going to let you go. That was Barry Grant with the All Even podcast. If you haven't checked him out, definitely check him out. I love conversing. Barry, next time we're just going to have you on so that you're zoomed in. Your
Exactly.
face is
Just
on.
put me on.
You're not a caller. You can be a guest, okay? We'll get you
All
on.
right, man, I got you.
All right, buddy.
All
We'll
right,
talk to you
boys. I'll
later.
talk to you later.
Yeah.
Thanks, Barry.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, Jerry.
Do you call him Jerry?
No, I call him Barry.
No, you had a
I
hard.
totally said Jerry because we were talking about Jerry Jones. Yeah, if so people are asking where's the call, and Alex is tossing it up. It's in the description in the
I can't
chat.
spell description. That's what
Are-
held me up.
Are you stoned?
Yeah, he's
Not
is.
enough. Not enough.
Smoke weed every day.
I mean, look, if on the kilo scale, I'm only 2.5. I'm halfway to heaven. As
Halfway
they
to
say.
heaven, and you're feeling good.
You know what?
Hey,
I was just
Go
gonna say
ahead.
Barry made some very
Great
solid points. I think
I
the-
agree with the strike while the iron's hot.
Here's the other thing.
Mantra.
Here's the other thing too. There's other coaches. So for instance, like I think because Sean Payton's been around and it's Sean Payton, he's not necessarily looking at I'm going to come in and I'm going to make my mark with the Cowboys turnaround and win them a Super Bowl. Jerry would do it, and I think Sean would do it to simply win the Super Bowl and to get a lot of money, and maybe he signs a smaller contract. Whereas someone like Kellen Moore would probably be looking at wanting to make a mark, or even Dan Quinn possibly taking a head coaching position. You know, you're not the problem with the Cowboys that everybody says with Jerry Jones is that it's technically not the head coach's team.
Yeah.
They don't really have that full autonomy. So if Barry's saying that Sean Payton's going to come in and get full autonomy, which he probably would negotiate that, and how much Jerry would relinquish
Well, like
that.
what Barry was saying, the last coach that had that was Bill Parcells, and Peyton was under Bill Parcells' coaching tree. So if for save Jerry, the only way I think Jerry Jones gives full control is he has to fully 110% believe that the guy that's coming in, that Jerry, whatever Jerry says to him, can't sway, like it won't help what he's doing. Like he's got to just let him do it.
Can I just throw a little behind baseball?
Yeah,
out?
behind baseball, it babe.
So we've been working on a new thing. We don't really know what it's going to be.
like an
but
app.
It's like scissoring for dudes.
It's like scissoring for dudes, but it's like an NFT and there's cryptocurrency. I don't know what the fuck it is actually.
Sorry about that.
No, but we've been digging back in the history of the Cowboys and just looking at a few of
folklore.
the best stories. The
folklore.
folklore of the Cowboys, exactly. And Jerry Jones took over the Cowboys and won 3 Super Bowls very quickly.
Yep.
So he was hot on his iron horse, and he probably
It's like that chasing that dragon.
you chased that fuck
Those first 3 hits.
I
were-
mean, we all know the first time that we had our first hit of that sweet Super Bowl
Smoke
H.
weed every day.
But yeah, like I think although it like gives him the confidence to be like, I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and maybe he does. Although the drought would say otherwise.
Yeah, but sorry, just to cut you off. There's a lot of people
Don't
that's
apologize for cutting this motherfucker off.
I'm a fucking B character. Okay.
Cut this motherfucker off.
the thing with Jerry Jones is, yeah, he came in, but he hired arguably one of the best, arguably besides Landry, the best Cowboys coach that they've had, which was Jimmy Johnson. Right? The third Super Bowl win wasn't what the Barry Switzer. It was the team Jimmy Johnson built, right? And then once Jimmy Johnson was gone and all his players were gone, the Cowboys haven't been to a Super Bowl or even an NFC championship game since.
Exactly. And so I think like how long does 3 Super Bowls in whatever 6 years that he
I think it was
owned a team.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
5
It was
years.
it was like 6. You're right.
But 5-6 years.
Whatever, yeah.
But how long does that fucking high last for you until you're like, so what I'm saying is there's a threshold of coach where he will relinquish control, but he's always going to have that in the back of his fucking mind. Like, I won 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Because when he came in, he took over
A shitty team.
No, right, but he took over GM or something.
Yeah,
like,
he took GM right out the
yeah,
get-go.
out
He
the gate.
basically bought the team and said, I'm going to be GM with no football experience.
Okay, well, so we got a caller.
Oh, we got a caller.
I don't know who it is this time. So
Ooh, it's this is like Kinder Surprise. I don't even know if they have those in the States.
Alex muted the caller as soon as they came in, and now he doesn't know how to unmute them.
I don't know why it's asking me to ask to unmute. Okay. Oh, hey.
How's it going?
No, sorry.
What about down in the bottom left? It says mute.
No, we don't want
That's
it.
us.
Oh, that's us. so we've muted a caller. This is new for us. This is our
that's
second
weird
time
that's weird that it
taking
won't let you do
callers.
that.
And so whoever's on the line right now, it's mainly we
Okay.
muted you because we didn't think you had anything to bring to the conversation.
I'm put you in the waiting room, and then I'm gonna try to admit you because hey, let's be honest. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, that's okay. It's behind baseball. You're allowed to do what you need to do.
You know what? It's just here's some behind baseball for everybody. We tried to get like a good call-in number, and a majority of our audience.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah,
there we
there
go.
we go. What's
we
going
go.
on, buddy?
Who do we have the pleasure of?
JJ.
JJ the Mime.
JJ the Hey, you're not a mime. You're talking
You're breaking the first rule of mimery.
of miming. What's going on, man? Welcome on to the line.
I just wanted y'all to give me some questions or my thoughts or anything, just like on the draft and all that, the draft or just the Cowboys in general.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
First, speaking of the draft, we are like really light at linebacker.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
You know, it's not gonna be easy finding linebackers in free agency. So why not just draft one and then fill the holes that way?
So
Y'all know
where
who
would
Jamel Dean is?
Yeah. Yeah, no, who'd you say? Sorry, what was the name you said?
Jamel Dean and Devin Lloyd, Utah State linebacker.
Utah
and
State.
UGA linebacker.
So are these kind of your early off-season kind of crushes? I'm not saying they're your actually crush. I'm saying your football crush. Is this what you're saying? These two guys you think, when do you think we can get them in the draft?
Well, right now, the draft point I learned from Boston Barkley, watching him, anything can happen. Like, when I mean anything can happen. So what I'm saying is, like, if we can draft a linebacker and get Jabril Cox and just say a linebacker to manage linebacker spot, we could do something like putting Micah at full-time edge rusher.
Hell yeah.
That's just thoughts I just have.
And that was one of the main things was you could really notice our defense really clicked when Micah was on the line, but it was hard to put him there because our linebackers are so bad. I honestly think if Jabril Cox wouldn't have had a season-ending injury, he would have been starting at linebacker probably halfway to maybe mid-late of the year, right? I think he would have supplanted Leighton Vander Esch. So we do have a kind of a question mark with Jabril Cox, and I definitely agree with you. I think we have to get someone, and with the defense we have right now, I think our main thing is a linebacker, to get a great young linebacker to kind of add to the mix.
And another thing I got, Amari Cooper. Okay. How long have y'all been Dallas Cowboys fans?
Well, the bandwagon boys, this is their first season, bro.
Hey, but you know what?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example right here. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened before we had Amari Cooper.
Hey,
Before we had Amari Cooper,
I've been a fan since probably a diehard fan since about 2000, like a diehard fan since about 2000.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell the other two.
Get it.
So before we had Amari Cooper, we had 3 random receivers: Michael Gallup and Cole Beasley. We know Cole Beasley is good up there in Bills Nation, but when we got Amari Cooper, that one piece changed our whole offense on how we played, and you can attest to that.
It did. It really did.
When I mean it changed our whole offense from how he played, from Dak being a top 15 to top 20 quarterback, it instantly boosted him to a top 10 status. Now, what I'm saying is,
it would make no sense to release Amari Cooper. Just because CD had 1,000+ yards doesn't mean he's ready to be a number one.
Right.
Just because Michael Gallup had 1,000+ yards doesn't mean he's ready to be a number one.
Hell yeah.
Remember, they bracket cover Coop, they
Every
double
play.
cover Coop, which gets CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup open.
Yeah, no,
And we saw in that Jets game 2 years ago when Amari Cooper got hurt, when it was just Michael Gallup to show his chance to be a number one. What happened? We lost to the Jets 24-22.
Ghosted.
He dropped 3 balls.
Ghosted.
I
So
always wonder that, like, so I bring up Cooper's contract. Oh my God, $22 million. Like, this is such a big amount. And then we just look at his stats to kind of compare that, and then we compare it over to, oh wow, Lamb's getting paid.
But I can give you one good stat about Amari Cooper though.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he had a down year, before this year it was 6-7 seasons where he did not have 1,000 yards, like where he never not had 1,000 yards, right? So it's based on targets. You saw how his targets went down, his yards went down.
Well,
and that's what I'm just not understanding with killing.
They got to throw the ball to the guy. Like, if he's one-on-one, or even if you think he's even a bit open, you got to give Amari Cooper the ball. And that you could tell Amari Cooper's usually a pretty quiet guy, stays out of the media. At the end of the year, he was basically saying, "Yo, fucking throw me the ball."
Where's my throws
exactly? And you saw. I mean, you saw what happened when we had Scott Linehan as the offensive coordinator. You remember Amari Cooper came back into the huddle and said, "Hey, I got him beat on his fade route."
Yeah,
I forgot who it was against. When Amari Cooper finally spoke out, and him and Dad just started clicking like that, and it was probably the craziest thing I ever seen.
Oh man, the first season when we traded for him, I'll give you a little insight or behind baseball here. When we traded for Amari Cooper, I was fucking pissed. I was so fucking mad that we traded for him.
Me too.
And,
I was a Raiders fan.
But within 3 games, I was so happy that we did it because he instantly turned us into a playoff team that year. Like his presence on the field halfway through, I think it was week 5 or 6, he came to Dallas, and it was like almost instant. We were good again.
And when I tell you, Amari Cooper changed Dak's life as a quarterback, because before that we had a washed up Dez Bryant. We went 2 years with Dez Bryant, washed up Dez Bryant, and then we went a year or two with just a couple of randoms out there in the receiving course. All I'm saying is, there is no reason to cut Amari Cooper.
No, you're right.
Amari Cooper, and we need to build around him. We need to I'm just gonna keep it a bean with you. I'm kind of getting tired of Lydell Collins. I'm getting tired of Tyron Smith. We can draft a tackle, we can draft a guard, we can do any of that, and we can just build around that right there, and we can just go from there. But the Sean Payton thing, I know I'm all over the place right now.
Hey, we love it. Hey, that's the whole point. You got your minutes. Get everything you can. Fucking diarrhea, puke it on us. We want to hear your thoughts.
I do have one question after this comment, though.
Let's hear your Sean Payton thoughts.
Okay, Sean Payton. All right. I know I said I'll trade first. I said a 2023 first and second. I didn't say this year first or second.
Fair.
I would, like I said in the comments, and I mean, if he did that with Taysom Hill at quarterback, 9 and 8, you just can imagine what he'll do with a Dak Prescott. Yeah. I think if he turned what he did with Drew Brees, because remember, Drew Brees and all that, he got with Sean Payton, who was an undersized guy that didn't have the strongest arm at all. I think if we got Sean Payton instantly, I think Dak is a top 5 quarterback if you get Sean Payton. I don't know if y'all will agree.
No,
but remember,
we're halfway there, but we're gonna move on here. JJ the Mime, we appreciate you calling in. We love that you're always in the chat, but you did kind of cheat on your username. You do talk. Have a good night, buddy.
All right. Well, all right.
And,
Take care, bro.
And JJ, show up on Sunday. We're going to be watching the NFC Championship game, and we want to hear your thoughts as we trash the 49ers and
trash the 49ers. Crack them if you got them.
There is one thing I just to that JJ brought up, and I think we kind of talked about it before.
Fancy?
Tickled my fancy. Tickled the bottom of my feet real nice.
Feathered the bottom.
Feathered my. Okay, but basically Cooper has this
That's us.
What we do? Cooper has this value of being a basically 1B to CD's 1A or vice versa, however you want to argue it. But maybe he doesn't get the same stat line that CD Lamb does, but how much does he contribute just by being on the field and forcing the team to also cover him?
Which, okay, so this is an argument that gets brought up a lot, which he does help, but you're still seeing Cooper Kupp. Like, you're getting guys like Cooper Kupp, DeAndre Hopkins, give me some other big name wide receivers. Anthony or AJ Brown.
Dalton Schultz.
AJ Brown. Like, there's number one wide receivers that are still getting bracketed. Still, so that I guess that comes down to now the play calling, two, the quarterback needing to go to the guy. Because yes, I get it. He's awesome to have on the field, but at some point you still need to get your number one receiver the ball.
Do you think Cooper's the number one?
Yeah, I do, and I honestly think I don't think they threw to him enough. I don't think they gave him the chances. And I do think you keep him. I'm a huge. I'm definitely on the keep Cooper.
What about you?
Well,
I thought Lamb was number one.
Well, no, so if we go back, to a couple of games or live streams or podcasts, I was saying because I'm not watching all 22 and I'm not seeing the field. The thought of them not getting more throws to Cooper is because of the double coverage or the bracketing, like JJ was saying. So it's like he's doing other things on the field to open up other guys. I think that CeeDee Lamb was underutilized, and possibly because maybe, like JJ was saying, he's not ready. But you are right. Cooper Kupp, how many times is he double coved? How many times is he in a or Stefan Diggs? Like, how many times are these guys getting ISO'd on the field and they're still making big plays? And I think that's where Dak needs to step it up. Another point, too, Filthy saying Cooper didn't contribute.
Fuck you, Filthy.
Filthy, just call in. Don't be a bitch and call in and let's have it out.
Well, JJ was also saying he talked too slow.
No, fuck no. I thought JJ was. I thought he was a great guest.
All we're trying to do, just full disclosure behind baseball on the CanFan podcast. It's like we're just trying to take calls. We're trying to find that rhythm. We're going to talk to everybody as much as we can. We're going to be doing call-ins every single episode moving forward. Because
there's also a gas that's going to be released if we have a caller in for more than 3 minutes. And it'll knock us.
Did you catch you off guard a little bit?
I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
I thought he fucked up his word.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about guess. Like guess. Yes.
No, like there's a gas that will be released if you talk for too long.
I like that we thought the exact fucking same thing though. I was like, guest? Did you mean to say guest?
Is he high right now?
I am high, and that was a high thought.
That was a high thought?
Hey, if anyone is, just before we move on, if anyone wants to see what my brain does, just go to the Instagram.
It rides a bus with a bunch of Cowboys fans.
Okay, we actually have I got an interesting question in the chat here that we'll bring up. So Tammy says, what do you guys think of the idea of every NFL team having a draw for one fan to coach one preseason game? It would shed an outsider's ideas and possibly shed insight.
Like the Michael Vick experience. They had the commercial for it. You guys remember that? Oh, man, that'd be crazy.
I could see
I would just go in there. You got to just go in and just start screaming at motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Are you stupid? I told you to run a fucking go route. Coach, we're kicking the ball right now.
I think it would actually be. I don't think it would be
a good
great.
skit. That's a great skit.
I don't think it would be good for preseason. I think it actually would be good for during the Pro Bowl or the All-Star
Pro Bowl
area. Yeah,
Super Bowl.
Preseason would be tough because that's when they're trying. They're literally trying to,
and not a full game either.
No, I think
a drive.
The closest I think they could get to that is you would be able to like pick 5 plays that the offense will run.
And we're bringing in young Jeremiah, Jeremiah Rufus.
I want him to do a quarterback draw.
But you basically, okay, kid, he's going to kick the fucking ball, so that's what you're going to pick. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you know what? I think it would be like everybody would vote on an app or something, and then a play to run on this down or something.
But
it would be cool though. I think that'd be a fucking hilarious skit.
I bet you the XFL will do it.
The end of what Tammy put in here, actually, it would shed an outsider's ideas and possibly shed instead. I think that would be kind of the overall sentiment that could possibly come out of it, like you just mentioned right there.
Yeah.
Oh, vote on what the next play should be on this drive or whatever. Like, I think they even did that in the
I
past,
think
haven't they?
in the XFL, I think they did.
it was
something.
the XFL.
I think it was like
something
you could
it,
pick a play or something like that.
The thing is, for the integrity of the game, they would have to do it on a Pro Bowl.
Something that meant nothing.
They're not, and this is not a knock on that idea. I think it's actually
I think
really
it's a great
fun idea.
It's hilarious.
But there's integrity that they don't want to end up being like, say, how boxing might be looked at now. Where
gimmicky.
Very gimmicky, yeah. Like, oh, so now you're just gonna bring in CM Punk to throw the football? Hello, in the Super Bowl. All right, the last 2 minutes, we're gonna bring in CM Punk to be quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'd like CM Punk to be it.
The main thing about the NFL, it doesn't need to be gimmicky. You know what I mean? A lot of things that are gimmicky, it's because they're trying to bring, something new and fresh to the sport. Where the NFL is the biggest draw of anything, right? Like it's the biggest cable draw by far.
So
absolutely,
the chat's going, and for whatever reason, this little widget thing that I'm using isn't there. But JJ saying, speaking of that, are you guys going to stream UCFL games? It would be so dope. They already have a football league that does that. It's called Fan Control Football League. Johnny Manziel is in it.
Oh yeah, I did. I do know about that. Fucking coked out Manziel's taking. I did know about that.
Him.
Yeah.
So,
did you say UCFL or USFL?
USFL.
Yeah, USFL.
What is this?
Guess what?
United States Football League.
Well, you know what?
It was around before.
Well, no, he's saying it's called Fan Control Football League.
No, that's the fan-controlled one, but there's also USFL, which is another league.
USFL.
Yeah, I see. So there's a USFL.
I mean,
there's
look,
an XFL. There's a fucking.
Well, this is the thing. The NFL, there's all these minor leagues, we'll call them, that are trying to just be that feeder to the NFL.
And so in the NBA, I guess the equivalent would be like what, the G League or whatever it's called. That it's like
or Europe, like they play in Europe.
But there's
there's places that people still have a chance. Like a lot of the time in the NFL, a guy's gone after 3 years and he fades forever. Instead of like going down into a minor league where he can still hone his skills,
maybe get a second berth.
Maybe in 5th or 6th year he can get back on a squad, still play semi-competitive football at a high level, and have eyes on him, Yeah. There's really not that. There isn't really. They've tried it with certain leagues. The XFL the second time around was doing a decent job at it, and then COVID kind of stomped that out a little bit. But there is this. Sorry, I was just reading what Filthy said. That was actually kind of funny.
He's saying,
and I'll answer that. No, Filthy, I'm not using Adam and Alex as a gimmick. I'm using them for their skills at hooking up a podcast.
Hey, and for me, I mostly just come for the drinks. I
JJ,
can vape anywhere I want.
Yeah,
we keep you as a gimmick, Filthy, is what Tammy's saying. That's truth right there.
That's the truest thing that's been said in chat.
Filthy, you're screwing up our algorithm. It's showing that you have 50% of your viewers are not subscribed to your channel.
Yeah. I have a fun article here.
Oh, okay,
you guys
cool.
like fun? You guys like fun articles?
We love fun articles.
Okay, then you're gonna have to take your pants off.
Well, this instantly makes it not fun with the 2021 conference championship.
I know.
That makes it a sad article.
Isn't it? This is such a Cowboys article. Well, let's get to the NFC championships in 20. Like we're already zooming ahead.
How we're going to get to the NFC championship in 2022.
But I think it's actually, there are, to be fair, 3 interesting points, and we can just quickly hit them. And I think you guys will all have, both of you, knowing who you are, you're going to have opinions.
Oh, I will. I will.
So first of all, we got this classic.
First of all, we have an old dude with a massive beard on the right.
Oh yeah, look
and
at
that is dope as F.
Is that Roy McCallum?
That is Roy McCallum. Wow, he's looking good these days.
Yeah. Okay, sorry for cutting you off.
So
Alex. Actually, I'm not. Fuck you, dickhead.
You didn't really cut me off.
You dickhead.
The first is the offense needs to gain consistent. Oh, getting a little.
How now, brown cow?
How now, brown cow? The offense needs to gain consistency.
I don't have his soundbite. That's like.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
You want that you could do
Oh,
Yeah.
that one's fucking.
Hey, you're
gold.
showing some behind baseball with your.
Oh,
You showed it.
Jeez, I did it.
He showed it.
It's my little jingle thing. Yeah, but the offense needs to gain consistency. I think that's like pretty part and parcel with.
Yep.
Yeah,
know?
I mean, you can't argue with that. They're off. How many times, like, just the weirdest fucking, with just so many like. Now I'm all fucking stumbling. no, I'm all fucking stumbling. How many times did the offense hum and then just for 3 drives they would do fucking nothing? There was literally no consistency at all.
Yeah, and there never felt like we hit a groove. Like sometimes I could almost tell by how we came out with our first drive what the game was going to be like.
Totally.
And look, I'm fucking calling it after the season, so take that.
Yeah,
for
it's
what
like
you
I
want.
totally knew we were gonna lose. In
but
this
you know what I mean?
I totally knew
Did-
that.
did you not
Alan was going to call heads instead of tails.
Did we not share that same
Or he
little
called tails
voice?
instead of heads.
That
He
same
called tails
little
instead of heads.
voice in the back of our head, though, that said like, okay, well, this is going to be one of those games
Yeah.
where the defense is going to have to win this one.
And it was weird how it was always when we were playing against a good team.
It was always a good. Hey, it's okay. The consistency thing, the biggest issue is O-line. It all starts with the O-line giving Dak a couple more seconds. When Dak has time, Dak is very
Yeah,
good.
That's time.
In fairness, that's going to happen against good teams. I get it. But if Dak, which I believe is a tier 2 type of quarterback, like there's obviously the elites, and then
Yep.
there's that second level.
Pause.
Player.
And after seeing Mahomes versus Allen, none of us are in any like delusion that Dak is near any of those guys.
I know.
Sorry,
No, no,
I
no.
don't think
Yeah,
Dak
yeah.
is on an Allen or Mahomes level at all.
He has a paycheck that says he is though.
That's
Yeah, but
that's the
that-
unfortunate part. He's a tier 1 paycheck, but I'd still think he's a tier 2 tier 2 quarterback, but he's not a fucking Mahomes or an Allen.
27% QBR in the playoff game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make
well,
it happen.
real quick, if Dak is a satisfying quarterback over the next 4 years,
Still
we're-
worth it.
We're gonna look back at his contract and be like, "This is
It's
a good
still worth it.
contract.
I,
sure.
I would still like. I
But
would
you're-
still like
well,
to win
that's-
the,
it is
the
huge.
wild card round.
That's when everyone's saying. That's why everyone keeps saying, "Get him a better coach."
Yep.
It's funny. I can't help but notice that Dak looks like he's looking at this hit like someone's just breaking up with him. Like
Oh.
you're breaking up with me?
His hands even do too.
Oh
Well,
my god, you're
it-
breaking up
but
with me?
Everything boils down to the O-line being able to add on half a second
Yeah, half a second even.
I'm just
right?
so
for
caught-
running or
both.
I'm just caught off guard. I'm just caught off guard.
You've always been cut off guard.
I'm
just
caught
caught
off
I'm just
guard.
caught off guard because Alex said this is gonna be a fun article.
It is fun. Now we're looking at stats. We love stats.
Hey, is this one of those stupid 4-way fucking charts that you?
It's
busted
not a
up before?
DVOA, no.
Is this a 4 quadrant chart? I feel like I'm fucking watching Interstellar and trying to figure out the 4th fucking parallel.
This is just
Murph,
a
Murph, don't do it, Murph. Don't let me go, Murph.
One of your stupid books falls off one of the fucking shelves here.
Okay, what do we got here, Alex?
I actually don't know what this EPA is, but I guess
I'm telling you, I'm telling you.
earn points
Yeah.
per player.
So
Whatever.
and it shows Dak week 1 to 6.
Yeah.
He was one of the best, and then Dak in the slump, he was mediocre, kind of hanging in the middle.
So that's just the
That
reality.
was fun.
Oh man, we got
That was fun. I had a
Listen,
good time.
Filthy's coming in here, and the chat is just eating him up right now. So
Filthy, get on the call. Get on the ring a ding, and
JJ
people can hear the man sing.
JJ claps back at him and says, "We smoked on that Philly pack twice, a 40 piece with a side of 52."
Ooh,
Nice.
And then Filthy says, "JJ the mime, Cowgirls don't get a trophy for beating the Eagles."
Well, no, we do though,
Well,
because
we-
we got to tell you to go fuck yourself.
Filthy, we actually made a trophy here.
2-0 against the Eagles.
And then Barry Grant saying or Burrow. And I'm sure he was responding to something that you said, and we didn't answer it right away. So or Burrow, I don't know what that is.
Josh Allen, Mahomes.
Oh right, or
That Dak's
Okay,
not on the
yeah,
same-
yeah.
for
Dak's
sure.
not on the same level.
Well, okay.
What about
so why?
what about Herbert?
I think Herbert still has it. I think Dak and him are probably about the same.
Okay, this is
I do.
why. This is why I think Barry Grant Jr. brought up Burrow, because me and him have chatted about this. I don't know if it was in the open. I actually don't remember when it was, to be quite
Right?
honest.
Was it a dream?
Could have been.
Was
a dream.
it when you were in one of your drug fueled?
It could have been it could have been a post fucking live stream
Phase?
phase.
when you're up at 11, just you're up at 11 on your Instagram, just
Just fucking listening to whatever. But no, he believes that there's that Dak's more of a third tier in line with Cousins.
Oh, Barry. I mean,
Which
I don't diss. You know what? I don't disagree.
I like Cousins.
I would have to see. So I would have to see Barry. I need the Barry. This is some homework for you. I need to see this tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, because maybe Dak is a tier 3. If you say Dak hovers around,
it all matters.
8 to 10 or 8 to 12, his overall ranking. That could be because there's tier 1.
How big's your tier 1?
3, maybe
That's right.
3 guys.
That's right. So.
Tier 2 is probably another 5 to 6, 5 to 7. Tier 3's, probably tier 3 is probably your biggest tier.
Guess what? You can win a Super Bowl with the tier 3.
Fuck, you can win a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer.
Yes, you can. And second thing,
Tay says,
Yeah.
check your messages.
Oh,
She has a chat. She has a chat to you to tell you to check your messages. Tay, we are on. We're live. so-
live take. Can you please keep this off live?
Okay, so
stream?
what? So
last two things.
well,
here.
JJ was saying. So there's a bunch of bullshit going on in chat. Filthy's trying to.
Well, I have these last two things.
Okay, go for it.
While you're searching,
No,
we
you
can
go.
move on to this
You
other
go.
subby. Anne's taking photos of his feet. That's what that's what Tay wants. She's like, send me photos of your toes.
Send me. Are you wearing
Nice
your
socks,
Are you
too.
wearing your
They are the
cowboy
ca-
socks?
they
I'm wearing
are
cowboy
the
socks,
Are you wearing your
Cowboy
cowboy socks? Anth, can you please send me pictures of your cowboy socks?
But this is obvious. The defense needs to take the next step. We have a lot of skill back there. I really think, and one of the questions I had, and if you can hear me well,
Yeah, I can, yep.
is what are I would say offensive line is probably the most important grouping. What did you call it? Fucking
Tiers?
Position group.
okay, yeah.
And then
What do I think?
What's on defense? What is
Linebacker.
exactly? Okay, so I guess that's where
Or
we
we
go.
get spot. You could go back and watch LVE fucking in every single
know.
game, and it's just. Well, you guys could probably think off the top of your head even a couple games where it's just like our defense couldn't stop a fart if it was going through the line.
Yeah.
Our linebackers just could never get our linebackers minus Parsons, who a lot of his contribution was on the line.
Yeah,
So we need someone in the middle of the field like a prime Sean Lee, an uninjured fucking Sean Lee in his prime to just roam this defense would just. That's what we need.
That's why he's up on your wall behind
and he was
you.
he was a second round pick. Like you can find those guys.
yeah. Do you think so? I guess either way that we can go. If there's someone to draft, if there's someone to get in free agency to help, because you who was the guy? The player that they mentioned that someone mentioned earlier. And they only played like 2 or 3%.
Luke Gifford.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? But if
Give
that
him
guy
a
can come
chance.
in and fill a third, then we just need a second, right?
Yep.
So
Exactly. And the Cowboys, like Barry said when he had called in, the Cowboys have been really good at drafting with Will McClay. So you build through the draft, you target areas you need, unless it's like we didn't think linebacker at the start of this year was even something we needed. People were mad that we drafted Micah because they're like, why are we drafting a linebacker? We have Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch. That was their main 2, right? Everyone was saying that, but imagine we didn't get Micah.
you look at the
Man,
I don't think. I think if we would have got Surtain or Patrick Surtain, it wouldn't have been the same type of defense.
No, and that's the thing.
maybe we would have been secondary shutdown.
right. But that's kind of like this weird. You go forward need or player, right? So it's a tough window to navigate.
But the question is, what position is the most pivotal to a championship team? And if the answer is linebacker, then we made the right decision.
Sorry,
No?
not right now. I think for us to take the next step
On defense.
on defense, it is offense. It's lineman.
Right. But on defense, the fact that we got Parsons, he fills a more pivotal role.
Oh, for sure.
That can contribute more, let's say, than if we would have got a lockdown corner. Okay, great. Right? Like an equally skilled linebacker in his position versus an equally skilled cornerback. The linebacker is probably your better.
I had to take a leak.
You want to go pee? You want to go pee in the can right now?
Just-
Okay,
just
go,
pee
go,
right there.
go pee. Then we'll get to this third. Maybe we do the read.
I don't even have it.
Is it in the drive?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if I can pull it up quickly.
So AJ's gonna pull up a read. We're gonna do a quick little.
And then if there are any callers,
I'm showing an empty room.
if there are any callers, call in.
Yeah, feel free to call in. Oh, hey, look, there's that.
One last. We'll probably maybe take one or two more.
This is gonna be the read right here. I mean, in the chat right now, we have a lot of
Where is the read?
back and forth about no, back and forth. No, you're in the wrong one. That's okay.
You shared it with me?
I don't know if I did or not.
Okay, whatever. Let's not do it. What's in the chat?
I'll get it. There's a lot going on in terms of
I can look.
Cowboys versus Eagles and Eagles not being productive. It's just
I will say this. I'm an Eagles hater. I'm not a filthy hater. I actually enjoy filthy quite a bit. But don't tell him that though. Okay, guys. But the Eagles impressed me much more than like I was expecting them to be dog shit. I always am, but they had some pretty good games at the end of the year.
Well, you know what I don't hate, Alex? I don't hate when we have to do some sort of ad read. So there's 4 teams remaining in the NFL playoffs, and that means only 4 teams left for you to bet on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Counting down to Super Bowl 56, new customers can get
56 to 1 odds
on any team. Bet just $5 and get 280 in free bets if your team wins. Not a new customer, you can experience a conference championship with the same parlays, same game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. DraftKings is safe,
Put some
secure,
fucking fire into this
and
read,
reliable.
DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. This is what we call a call to action. All you have to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TPPN and get 56 to 1 odds on any NFL team. Bet just $5 and win 280 in free bets if your team wins. That's promo code TPPN for 56 to 1 odds at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. 1 per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem?
Call
1-800-GAMBLER.
What was that number?
1-800-GAMBLER. We are too happy about that.
Oh wait, but seriously, if you have a gambling problem,
please call 1-800.
Everyone has some sort of vice.
So Barry Grant says, if you're gonna sell out, do it right.
You know what? That we sell out. Have you guys all? Hey, let's a little behind baseball. Have you guys used that code?
No,
not yet.
I haven't. Here, fun fact here.
You don't. Gamble?
I signed up just to help the network.
Yep.
I don't really gamble.
Yeah.
And I think the one time I did gamble, this is great. I'm gonna go to my own single account. The one time I did gamble was I felt so like I felt like I was gonna actually win. I spent I think $100, picked all my games, and I was like,
"Oh, you did $100?
How
many did you parlay?"
Okay, so I don't know what you're talking. I have no idea what you're talking about. I picked my teams that are gonna win. I picked what the scores were gonna be. And I was like, this is for sure. I think I lost every single pick.
Yeah, I'm a terrible sports gambler. The trick is, if you're going to bet $100, you just pick one team, win or lose. That's your best bet. That's your best chance. You just $100 on it, money line, win or lose. As soon as you start parlaying, the NFL is just too fucking. There's too many variables, man, to actually be a good bettor. I'm terrible at it.
Man, Filthy is trolling hard today. He's taken on the entire CanFan nation right now.
He's in a drunken stupor, which is fine.
And he's basically saying that Dak is not as good as Jalen on Dak is not as good as Jalen on a bad day, on Jalen's bad day.
He's trolling to troll.
I know.
Troll's gonna troll.
Guess what? We're giving him airtime right now.
Yeah, fuck him.
We're giving him airtime, and I just don't like it.
Hey, can you mute me?
Sure.
What did you?
I think we. I don't like how we're live on air and Ant's taking. We're just gonna say he's
Taking a
taking
breather?
calls, but that's okay. Crack him if you got him, AJ.
We would love to take one more call. Come on, guys. The number's in the description here. I mean, we're up to taking more, but I definitely want to hear. The thing is, we ran out of stuff to talk about.
Okay, no. I mean, we
actually, we do have
we have a ton of stuff. We weren't gonna go there yet.
Okay.
But let's just say some of the things that are going on. Let's talk about some of the other big things right now. You just brought up the Troy Aikman thing. So Troy Aikman was confused about not getting Cowboys 49ers. Give me a little bit about that.
Well, I believe this is to do with his play calling. Obviously, he's not confused about not being able to go out and play in the game.
Right.
But they had Tony Romo, and I don't know who the fuck does Tony Romo do.
Ants would know this, but
anyways, side note, they just Tony Romo and was it Jim Nantz? Who does Tony Romo do the fucking play calling with? They were the ones who called that Chiefs and Bills epic.
Get me
contest.
in there. Am I in? Was I unmuted that whole time?
We just listened and we actually transcribed it all.
Yeah, Jim Nantz and Tony Romo.
Jim Nantz and Tony Romo they partner up. So it looks like Aikman says he was confused about not getting the Cowboys 49ers game. Probably a little butthurt.
Yeah, well the weird thing about Romo and Nantz calling the Cowboys game is CBS usually does AFC and Fox usually does NFC. So Aikman gets a lot of the Cowboys games, like a lot of the primetime Cowboys games, because he does NFC games. And then Romo and Nantz get a bunch of AFC, obviously, because I just explained that. So it was kind of weird that Aikman didn't get the Cowboys, and it was weird that Romo was calling it. I wonder if it had something to do with the stupid ass Nickelodeon thing. Like, I don't know if CBS is a partner in partnership with Nickelodeon, and that's why they had.
It's almost like, why the fuck would they do that during a playoff game?
Our 8-year-olds
to try to get kids.
Our audience, they like a Romo more than they like an Aikman.
So, but what it might be is, or it's they had time slots booked,
right?
So they had time slots, and then the Cowboys got.
JJ saying that Romo is a jinx, though.
Romo is a jinx. He is a jinx to the Cowboys. I wish he wouldn't have called the game. A lot of people hate Aikman and Buck. I don't mind Aikman and Buck calling the game, to be honest.
No, you were bringing up what I was trying to talk about earlier, and I didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah, this.
So 3 defensive coordinator candidates who could potentially replace Cowboys coach Dan Quinn if he leaves. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at if the Cowboys lose Dan Quinn, 3 potential coaches who could fill in his spot.
Yeah. Okay. So go down, AJ. So who do we have here? Do you honestly think that DQ is going to go?
Yeah.
I think
what team?
Visiting too many teams to not be like not say that he probably will,
because he'll get paid.
I don't know,
$4 to $6 million probably for a head coaching.
Yeah, I don't really know how the
JJ ain't going to pay him $6 million to be a DC.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I think he would. Jerry Jones at this point in his life will pay whatever he needs to do to win a Super Bowl.
I mean,
my dick doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay. Dan, I got money for you.
Like, he's a fucking multi-billionaire.
Dan, I got money and Coke. What do you want?
So Joe Witt Jr. would be, as this article says, he would probably be the easiest guy because he's already a coach for the Cowboys. So he knows the scheme. He's seen Dan Quinn work up close and personal for the last year. So he would probably, and he has a repertoire with the players already.
Okay.
Might have a little bit
rapport, not repertoire.
You can say either or.
Or I guess so. Tomato.
Exactly. So don't you ever correct my goddamn English on goddamn air again.
That's great.
I don't even know what I was saying now.
You said that
he's the right-hand man.
Yeah, Joe Witt has the rapport and
he's
the
an
repertoire.
inside guy. It's like if at your guys' work, if you had to hire someone, you'd probably rather promote someone. You'd probably rather bring someone up that's been brought in that you already know. You know, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know, right? Like, you'd probably rather have the person that you've worked with against someone that you're just taking a chance on.
But what about Witt going with Quinn? Like Quinn brings his
or
team
going
with
somewhere
him.
else,
Yeah.
or going somewhere else. Even he's had a couple interviews himself. So, I mean, there's a lot of variables to this. Brian Flores, I don't even think we should talk about this because he's probably going to be a head coach. I don't think the Cowboys will get him. I think this is kind of a weird. I think they put it in if just for SEO, to be honest.
Sure.
I honestly
Good for
think
them.
I think they just added him in because they know he's going to be a hot search.
And look at that sweet ad there showcasing too. $300K life insurance.
28 a month.
Whoa, Zegama
I could
Beach.
kill myself.
But I don't think Brian Flores definitely won't be. And then Denard, however you want to pronounce it, would be the third. Who the first two options above feature someone the team is familiar with. The final option is neither of those things. Wilson is currently the defensive back coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. He's only been with the Eagles for one season after coming over from the New York Jets the previous year. So he's not full Eagle. So we would take him.
Good. We'll still accept.
Well, I'm surprised Mike Zimmer, the head coach for the Vikings, isn't on this list. I could honestly, if he doesn't get a head coaching job, I would see him as a very sought after defensive coordinator. And he used to be a defensive coordinator for the Cowboys.
Here's what I like to do. I like to cook up all the possibilities. If I was Jerry Jones, I'd say, let's cook up all the possibilities. I want every single fucking potential grouping of, if we'll hire Zimmer and then Dan Quinn's gone, or no, we move Dan Quinn to our head coach and McCarthy's gone, whatever. Figure out all your fucking options and then break it down from there of like, now which ones do we want?
Yeah.
And then try to see how we can, because there are going to be things that we can't control. If Dan Quinn gets hired, then that eliminates a lot of possibilities, but it also probably changes your mindset about, well, then how are we going to structure this thing, right? Because I love the idea of Barry Grant bringing up that urgency. It's 100% true. I have been saying, me alone, only me, no one else in the world.
What Alex is about to say does not represent Cowboys CanFan at all.
Well, he's the only one saying it in the world.
I'm the only one that's saying it in the world.
You're the only one saying it.
But no, we've probably all agreed though that like this year and next year are very pivotal years in the team that we have together, at least in the big picture, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna
cut that one out.
Hey, that was good. You finished it strong.
Okay, so what other time period did you feel like the Cowboys? So like we had high hopes obviously for the Cowboys this year. Everybody who have been Cowboy fans, maybe for the most part, like it felt like a team that was clicking and that we had a real shot at getting past this first round. Like none of us thought we were going to be one and done.
No, I didn't.
So when you look at the team, there's a lot of people that could go away this year or coming into this offseason. So, it's
you mean like free agents?
Yeah, free agents or even coaching staff. Like, so if I was Jerry Jones, who are the elements that have changed this team fundamentally and why should and how do we keep those?
Dan Quinn,
yeah, for defense.
That's number one. We went from the Cowboys' worst defensive performance in 2020 to one of the top tier defenses in 2021. So this is all players on here. It doesn't really take into account for coaches.
No.
It's really hard to say. I mean, out of this list, you're probably only going to keep maybe 10, maybe if you're lucky, 10 guys.
Well, we can't keep any now.
Yeah, right.
We don't have any cap space.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's tough because you're also going to go out and strike gold, hopefully with some like a J-Ron cares. But it's really, I like, this is a weird time of the season because you're waiting to see what we're going to do with coaches who we thought as the 12-5 season was happening, you didn't think we'd be talking about coaches.
Yeah.
Right. You thought those coaches were kind of safe until how the season kind of ended, kind of stalled to get our offense stalled a little bit, which is bringing the questions with Mike McCarthy, the QB draw, bringing up a couple questions. So you kind of want to see some of that stuff get sorted sooner than later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? When's the draft? April 28th. So what's that give us? February, March, April, 3 months.
It gives us 3 months to be talking about this every single podcast.
No, but this is the thing. If you're not gonna have Mike McCarthy as your head coach, you're fucking running on borrowed time right now.
Yeah, if you don't have Mike McCarthy as your head coach, or if you don't plan on it, you need to get the coach that
now.
Getting to get now so that he can start assimilating
Assimilating,
assembling the team
Well,
that he needs to come
Don't
in.
assimilate anyone on the
It's
team.
gonna be.
Well, you could.
There will
could.
be no moves until after. Now there could be stuff happening in the background, of course, and deals being made ready to be signed right after. But there will probably be no moves until post Super Bowl.
Okay, so we got 2 things left before
Or we won't hear about it.
Yeah, 2 things and then we out.
2 things before we out. So one,
We will be live streaming this Sunday.
Sunday will
NFC.
be NFC.
What up?
championship
What
game.
up?
Okay, so Kilo C says, you guys got to do UFC 271.
What is that? We should. What's the card?
Who's
Let's
the card?
Check it out.
AJ?
UFC 271. I had a great time doing the.
Yeah,
I mean, I liked it because I'm not really into. Like, I'm into it, but I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the Cowboys games. It's sometimes hard to, enjoy the stream because I'm so hyper focused on the actual game itself. The UFC we did the other night I had a great time.
And it was a.
I mean, this
Good
looks
card.
like a pretty
Oh yeah,
intense card.
Yeah, fucking rights it is.
It's for me. I just know that the main event.
The main
there.
guys. Okay, so then here's one
I'm
that
down.
here's one that JJ wants us to answer. Oh shit, I can't even put his thing up here. So he says, guys, I got a great question. Please answer this. Would an all-star Canadian Football League team beat an NFL Pro Bowl team? Please answer this for me. I would love to know your thoughts.
No, not a fucking chance.
Not a
I
chance,
honestly,
bro.
I think an all-star Canadian football team would have a hard time beating like a
practice squad.
no, like a college team,
Yeah.
yes,
like a
top
college team. I think they would get fucking
What
killed.
happens
I don't-
primarily?
yeah.
What happens primarily with Canadian football and possibly there's a lot of Canadians who are like diehard Canadian CFL
I
fans.
hate it. I hate
I hate
CFL.
I hate it too. Get
So
into a lot
bad.
of get a lot of arguments with people. Just being like, hey, look, I just don't enjoy watching it.
It's the better game.
It's a better game. It's a different rules, 3 downs. So the 2 things, JJ, would be whose rules are they playing? Because CFL does 3 downs and it's a wider field, deeper end zone. So that does kind of come into play for some
it
NFL
would make
players,
it easier.
but
Yeah.
but an NFL Pro Bowl team versus a Canadian All-Star team, rules would give the CFL stars a better chance, but I still think it's the NFL.
I got one for JJ, and he can feed on this. Lucky Whitehead, ex Dallas Cowboy, who got cut after his 3rd year, was like our 4th or 5th option. He led the CFL this year, I think, in touchdowns. So, and he couldn't even stay on an NFL team.
Yeah.
He was a top 3 wide receiver this year in the CFL. Like I was at the pub and I was like, holy fuck, that's Lucky Whitehead scoring a touchdown. Crazy. But that just shows you put 12 or 11 of, like, because in Canada it's 12 guys are on the field versus 11 in the States. You put 11 of the best NFL players. I don't care if they're fucking what sport they're playing. I think they're beating the best 11 athletes in the CFL.
Yeah.
I think the total player salary of all NFL players is something around here it goes. Oh wait. The average salary. So the average salary cap of a CFL team
Yep.
is $6.6 million.
The whole team.
The team.
Holy fuck.
So
That's crazy.
It's really comes down to, like, there's just absolutely no competition.
There's
the
no competition.
second a good player becomes good enough to go get $500,000 on a practice squad,
Yep.
they're gone.
Gone. Well, this is the thing. As the best CFL player isn't even better than the worst NFL player.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, so the
all the good ones.
it
move
does
quick.
Yeah.
So this is what they're now trying to. This is what we were talking about earlier on. I don't know if we were talking about the podcast or we were just chatting, not today, but and JJ says, "Oh, you're right. It doesn't compare." I forgot Lucky plays in there. The NFL is now going to be coming into Canada, and they're going to be having at least 1 or 2 games a year. They've done it in the past, but they're actually going to do season games in Canada due to the fan base. I think it would have been nice to have Vancouver, maybe a mid-Canadian team, and then like Toronto or 2 teams out east in the NFL. Now, obviously, with the amount of teams in the NFL, you probably wouldn't expand into Canada, but
It'd be too tough.
Yeah.
The only
XFL rules.
it'd be too tough.
Saskatchewan,
it'd be too
Tammy
tough.
says.
Oh God, it'd be too tough. The only place that they'll play ever NFL regular season game Is Toronto. There's no
they're already talking about they're doing a Seahawks game. They're going to do a Seahawks game at they're in the process of doing a Seahawks regular season game at the Coliseum or BC Place.
Really?
Yep.
I just don't see that happening.
I mean, look, they're saying it's in talks, and that's what we're all saying. It probably won't happen.
And if it did happen, it would be half of the stadium would be Americans.
Well, think
it
about
would
that.
be
for sure.
Whereas in Toronto, you could probably fill a whole stadium in Toronto. I mean, it would be the Bills, so you'd probably still get a lot of the diehard Bill Mafia because it's not that far away coming up for the game.
Yeah.
They say in the Bills home games, a good percentage are Canadians anyways, and the same with the Seahawks. A good portion of I'd say maybe 10 to 15% is probably Canadians that go down.
They're saying 8 to 13,000 people at Seahawks games
are Canadians.
Can be Canadians.
Damn, that's actually
I could be just.
We don't have a lot of people.
I would thought like 5. I would say 5 between 5 and 8.
So Kilo Scene saying another great show. Now it's time to sail. So give us a nice little sail soundbite, and we're gonna hit it out.
We're gonna hit it out, Kilo. We're gonna give you the sail. Okay, so for the bandwagon boys over there, how long did we run there, boys?
134.
That was fun.
Oh my god,
that was good. It was good. It was flowed. We had a lot of conversation. Hey, we will be live streaming the NFC Championship game, which is those fucking San Francisco 49ers at the Los Angeles Rams. For the bandwagon boys over there looking fly as hell in the new lighting, and your host Anthbest, we out, son.
What up? How about the what up? They bring the noise. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. What up?